morning. How are you? My hair's weird. I'm not sure what I have to talk about. Except the Pocketchip. So I did my I'm still like physically incapable of coming up with a separate device that can do time and data entry and light data entry. I just want my reminder timer thing. I want that to exist. I want it to have a display. I want it to remind me of stuff. I want to be able to quickly put reminders into it. I want it to flash, buzz, beep. I want to be able to snooze stuff very easily. And I'd ideally like it to sync. The original ideas for this started with the using a Raspberry, or using a excuse me, an Arduino device, which I suppose I could still be doing. And then I was like, well, why don't I just do everything? I could make it a full computer and use the Raspberry Pi Zero. So I tried that, and the battery life on that is not commensurate to what would be required. However, the Pocketchip still has that screen off battery life that I need, and it tracks its own battery usage. It's already integrated, so you wouldn't have to write anything or design any circuit separately for that, for tracking the battery. The Pocketchip's big, but it is somewhat easy to carry. I did carry it around for a while. Oh, wow. This is unfresh coffee. But Pocketchip has no external speaker, no blinky lights, and no vibrate function, and no the GPIO is not super accessible, and no pulse width modulation from what I can understand. And that's a heavy caveat, because all the documentation, the project's abandoned, so a lot of the documentation is just poofed. I get mirrors, and that's about it. So the idea I've been thinking about for a bit is to supplement. There's pictures of people that have their Pocketchips, and they've like added all kinds of stuff to them. There is an external speaker circuit that's already designed that you can build into it. I just haven't. There's also other stuff that is manual, like switching from headphones to the external speaker, stuff like that. Normally there's a service, I believe, that monitors the state of the headphones and then switches dynamically back and forth. But my stopgap, or I don't know, my idea was to use a Arduino Nano, which does have blinky lights and does have pulse width modulation very natively. Turn it into a slave I2C device. Attach a buzzer, attach a motor. It has an LED, but I could probably attach a few more. And program it to receive hex codes via I2C and do stuff. and then just attach it to the clock and data lines on the Pocketchip. So then I'll basically have a separate device, but it will be powered by the Pocketchip, and it'll run the buzzer, the blinky lights, and ideally a motor, a vibrator motor. And the body of the Pocketchip has room in it for you to expand into it, to build into it. Hang on. Okay. Just some raucous nose blowing. The fan in my car is squeaking, and it sounds like far off birds in a nest. We have birds nesting in our soffit. I gotta get rid of. Right, so the Pocketchip can have a buzzer, beeper, lights, and add that as a slave device via I2C, and that would be pretty cool. We could probably if we're gonna do the I2C, I just need to test those controls in that version of Debian that runs on it. What is this even? Ugh. Right. So, I2C. Yeah, it does stuff. Oh yeah, so then I can think about expanding to an OLED or something. Then I can have a little external display that requires much less power, where I could keep up some of those things. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, then I should be able to keep the Pocketchip around, have it set for input directly into the thingy. I tell my wife I get like pollen alerts or allergy alerts on the tweeters, and I was like, oh, it's high today. Really? It's like, oh, you don't say. Oh, wow. He's like, let me tell you how you're feeling right now. Let me check my cell phone to see how I'm feeling right now. Oh, terrible. Must be high pollen. There you go. That's why. And I suppose if it was low pollen, I don't know. It has no effect on you, no impact, unless you have some alternative root cause. You're tracking this data to differentiate yourself, figure out what might be going on, what side effect. Right. I'm really impressed with that Pocketchip, though. I think you can still buy them from a seller that made them, or the distributor, or the actual manufacturer, or something like that. Maybe the importer. There's someone somewhere that got stuck with a whole bunch of them, and he's been having them for sale, and has reduced the price a few times. It might make sense to grab a few of the standalone Pocketchips, just the $9 computers, if they still have them. However, my understanding is that $9 was a loss for them. Yeah, we're losing $2 per unit, but we'll make it up in volume. All this imaginary money just screwed everything up. It's like Alphabet and YouTube. You know, YouTube lost, reduced their market cap 70 billion or something like that due to YouTube. Like, oh yeah, the company loses a few billion a year, but we're making it up in volume. It's like, I don't know, maybe they weren't around for the days of the internet. Like, stuff moves on. There was a point at which you would be, you know, using MySpace, going like, man, everyone's going to use MySpace. This is like, you know, I'll update this and my grandchildren will read this. There's always going to be a MySpace. Well, maybe not. There's some other weirdness around that, like how it actually went downhill. You know, Rupert Murdoch bought it for $1 bazillion or something like that, and people were like, really? Like, you buy it late and just like run it into the ground. And then Google's like original funding, that's all weird. Yeah, where did this money come from? Oh, and where did that money come from? And who is supporting your development of these interesting algorithms again? Oh, 3-letter government agencies? Well, you know, they're just, you know, pursuing their interests. They can spend money wherever they want. Yeah. It's just too much money. And it's all, I mean, that's what I'm talking about. It's pretend money. It's money based on debt. Money that imparts value but has none itself. Its value is based on a consensus that it has value. I'm not talking about fiat currency, I'm just talking about debt-based currency. They can have a company that loses money for 10 years, but you know, goes public and IPOs at $100 a share. And what is it we're doing exactly? I don't know what this one is about. It's about me being sick and not sick, just fighting with allergies. It's about me having allergies. It's exciting stuff.